Hey, this is a new episode of Podcast Stuff and Such, and today I had the idea because I did something similar before, but it was a total mess because it's like over two hours long. So I kind of want to try out with a more smaller project. So my idea is that I want to talk about a game that I uh, not played, but I watched through. Is it called like this? I don't know. But I want to talk about the game, which still is when I rewatched it. Still, the story is stuck with me, or at least the twist is stuck with me. And I want to talk about the horror game, which was a little horror game. I have to check the data when it came out, but it's like a couple of years. With The Witch's House, and many people, including me, uh, have this game still in their mind because of the twist. I think, and I want to talk about what the game is about. And I want to go even. I will give it a different take, even though I kind of will mix it. I try to say what it is about, what the author intent was unconscious, not his conscious intent, because this is way more difficult. Because you can say, okay, this was an intent, and you have to know his life, the person. It's just a little bit more difficult to do. But what I will try to do is to answer the question, what made him interesting in this idea, or what did he like about it, or why he found it important. And it is more like a collection of theories, and I will say not every theory has to be right, but I'm pretty sure one of it is right. So let's start. So what do I think? I will try to make it first. I will give like some rough aspects that I think some choices the author made tells a bit about his person. And I just say that just because he chose to take this route. So the first take I have is because the game, I will now spoil it. So if you didn't play it and you want to play it for yourself, or do you want to watch a playthrough, you can leave now. But now I will talk about it. So I think one aspect that is telling about the author is that he is a person who is interested in perspective of other people. So because the game is from the perspective, which we later find out, of the witch, not of Viola. So because in the end, Viola has a pity, or feels not obligated, but wants to help Ellen, she's called, I guess. She swaps bodies with her, and Ellen kind of made it sure that she can not survive in her old body, and she cannot use the same spell again. So but we have then a scene which is, so the first point is, you as a player, there is like the twist works because you feel that this person is the evil witch, with now later revealed, and twist is the opposite. So the person you controlled and who looks child innocent like is the witch, and the person who has can't speak correctly, just makes weird sounds and looks scary, she is the original little girl. So that is why I think he is a person who is interested, or he always, I think, like, this tells about that this person has an interest in how people see the things from their perspective, because that's the whole point of the game, that you play from the perspective in the body of the little girl, which you don't know of the with the witch. But I will now back up a bit, because I think the idea came first. I think the twist was the first idea, but what I try to do is to give an answer why he stuck with it and why he found it interesting. That is what I try to do. And I try it on the unconscious level, so not on this conscious level, because the conscious level is, like I said, is more difficult because I have to know this person. But the unconscious level is just like, it can be right, it can be wrong. Some of it could be right, some of it could be wrong. So, and I just will go by the choices he made. So this is my first thing that is telling about the author. The second one is, I try to, if I want to structure it differently, but the second thing I think the author has, or the question he had, was if it is right for sometimes not to help, or to not to be kind and helpful. So, because the whole thing started because Viola felt pity for the witch, and that's how she was down with the idea of switching bodies for one day. That was the deal that they set before, and then the witch had different plans. But the point is, it is because she wanted to be helpful, she got into the situation, and horrible situation with no, so she switched also like the life with the witch in a way, because the witch has a body that would last long, and she also made sure that it will especially not last long after her switch with the Viola. And it's also more than just the switch is also like a different view on life quality. So if you're, because the witch is bad written, it's called in the story. So she has not so many. She's really she's not so free in what she wants to do with her life. And Viola is a healthy young girl, so we have that difference. And what I kind of think like could be true, doesn't have to be, but could be true. So for example, if the author has a person, so I think the question the author asked himself was, is it okay to not help a person if it is too a burden for your own life, or it hinders you in your freedom that you have, because that is exactly what's happening. So because we all switched the body, she is now not free to how she moved, how she was able to move. She's not also free in how she wants to spend the rest of her life, or anything, because she doesn't have any much time. And so what I mean by that? For example, if you have somebody in your family, in your friend group, who is sick, is unhealthy, and you want to take care of them, but you feel you kind of have to think about maybe. So, for example, you have to take care of a parent or a family member, but this would in, would hinder you to go after a more complicated or big goal that you have with your life, maybe going to a different city, maybe doing that. I think that is the point of the offer. It is the question if it is okay not to help when you feel that the help that you give to the person hinders you in your own life and makes it a burden for you. So that is what I think could be true. Doesn't have to be, but could be true. Now we go to more really kind of religious kind of themes and more just a take on belief systems, which is a lot more like take with a grain of salt, because I don't know this person, but from the way how he structured the story, what the point is, it is interesting that he chose to make the witch bedridden and and sick, have a big sickness. Why? I think this is interesting because I think the question he had was, if is there a reason that some people have these difficult lives? Is there like a justice behind it? Is this a person who would be absolutely evil if they had the chance to be free in the world? And which is the answer of that? Yes, she would be absolutely evil because she is when she gets the chance. And so I think he's kind of questioning if it is okay to like if it is right that people get these kinds of lives, and if there's like a already just system behind it, or is it just like by chance, there's no motive behind it. I think that is what he kind of had a question about. If it is it right, not is it right, but is there a reason why people have these difficult hard lives? Is there maybe like a justice behind it? And his take, and I will now say it's still a horror game, and I say the twist came before. So what I say, this is not telling about how he exactly views it and how his view of it, because the take is pessimistic. Now, because if you play the game, this is a really pessimistic take of that, because this is the people that have big sickness. There is a reason why they have it, because they were an evil person, maybe in the life before, or they would be. So, and I think this would be like too much to say, well, this is exactly how the author thinks, but it's just because it's still a game. So, but there's something, I think, about it. And yeah, so that's basically all the ideas. So what I think The Witch's House is about is, I think, two main things. I think it's the first question is it right to not help a person who's close to you or needs help if it will hinder your own life, your how many things you have available for you, if it will hinder you in that or in your goal that you want to achieve, or it will bring your also really down. is it right then not to help? I think this is the one point of the game, and because it is a horror game, it is the pessimistic answer to that. But I think this is the one point of the game, and a different point is, which I'm pretty sure is just because how he made this story, it is about not really knowing a person. Like, you can't know how they are before you are in their situation, and even if you are in their situation, you don't know how, like, if you have their life, you would know how it is, and you kind of have an idea, but you don't know how you would go about it. I think this is the second thing he kind of found interesting. And yeah, that's for me what I think this game is about. This is a more quick video, so it's like the thing with giving like 1, 2, 3, and then you only know 2 things, and a third one you have to kind of think about a lot to find the third thing, because it sounds cooler to say 3 things than 2 things. But I think this is because the game is short. I think that in the core of the story, or what the story is trying to tell. And also, I want to repeat that because it's a horror game, obviously it is not a one-to-one replica of his view of it. It can be, but it doesn't have to be. It just has to be like what is interesting for the genre. No? So yeah, that was my take. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you. Bye for now.